Well, hello, all you G fans who are out there living free and wild and knowing that you're a kaiju fan for life, and that's all that matters, Kind of dusty out here, but that's okay. We'll continue on. Well, for right now, I'm recording where it's pretty nice and decent. It's at a park in West Monroe, right across the river from where I live at. And just want to start off by saying this. This is the past weekend with the G-Fest 29 and 2029. That's not for more years, 26. And I was trying to say 2019, but you get the gist of that. My point is this past weekend was hella fun. It was so much fun. And I had to say, this is one of the things I love about G-Fest, and I'm going to break it down to you right now. So here we go. Okay. The simple fact is, when I first came to my first G-Fest 3 years ago, I was this really, really shy guy, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people noticed that when they first saw me. The ones who've been attending for years, who've been doing it for years, and pretty much can tell a newbie when they see one with anything. They see someone new that's like, okay, this individual, he or she is pretty much new to what the experience is, but they'll get something incredible out of it, and that's what I did. As all said and done, I just felt like it was a dream my first time out, and I have to say, I didn't think it was real. I mean, even though when I took the pictures and I saw what I took, and it's like, it still seemed like a dream to me. But that being said, fast forward to now, and this past weekend, unbelievable. But at the same time, I am someone who has grown, who really has grown, mentally, in a sense that I'm not scared. I'm not nervous as I used to be. When I come up to someone, it was kind of like, I was kind of not sure, and now it's just like, hey, how are you doing? Hey, welcome, you're a G fan, and that's what it kind of boiled down to. And I think that was the case with me, knowing that you get to see the people who really are the ones who are, as I say, the fans, the hardcore fans, and they really love this genre so much. They come with their heart and soul with it, and they just embody that kind of mentality with others who feel that same way. I feel that's kind of the reason why I love going to G-Fest. I've been going that was my fourth time last week. I realized that going is really, it's really a mental release for me, for knowing that I'm not alone, for one thing, and knowing that here in Louisiana, where I'm from, there is so little of that fandom here. Now, it might have been back in the 70s, early 80s, where it used to be such a, when the films were still showing, they were still being shown theatrical or even on television. Once that kind of died out at the end of the 90s and in the 2000s, it didn't seem so, well, like I say, it just died out. It just since you didn't have that core group here. And I'll tell anybody who's not from Louisiana, you don't find too many people here who are diehard Godzilla fans. You just don't. And I swear I thought I was the one that just stuck out as weird. It's like, wow, I'm the only one who loves Godzilla, but it's there, and yet I'm the only one who's liking it. And I'm just going to think to myself, maybe there's something wrong with me. I really thought there was something wrong with me. But as it turns out, it was nothing wrong with me. It's kind of like what Neo is in the Matrix. He's an anomaly. In fact, he's told this in the when the architect tells him in Reloaded that you're an anomaly they've been trying to eradicate for the longest time. Well, be it as it may, I guess I'm this anomaly that's been around for so long that I just began to realize my full potential of who I am and know that I am one of the few, and I'm talking about one of the few from this Pelican state who is a diehard G fan. And that to me is pretty unique, considering that you have the East Coast, you have the West Coast, you have Northern, but not too many in the South. Now, maybe, like I say, maybe in Texas, maybe in Mississippi, you might have a few more, but Louisiana, none of that. Okay, so what is this all boiling up to? What is this all meaning? What is this all really? Okay, the bottom line is this. Considering that I'm probably only, well, like I say, there's probably like one or two through the whole state that's a G fan. I feel that when I come to G-Fest, I don't have to feel like I'm some kind of anomaly. I'm unique in the sense that, you're somebody who has a love for this, but you're not alone in the sense that you're the only one who is a lover of this kind of, mindset. I am somebody who is loved by others who love me, who love this stuff. And this is the thing I want to bring out. G-Fest is more than just this kind of group come together, buying stuff from the dealer's room, buying art, admiring the art, going to these panels, everything. Now, I apologize in advance if I start to get a little bit into the realm of emotions here, because as I've gotten older, my emotions tend to overwhelm me, but I can't help it, and I apologize in advance, but I'm sorry, but I'm going to have to do that. Now here we go. For me, G-Fest is all about the individuals who I come in contact with. It's all about the people who are really, as I say, G fans, who are really monster lovers, And for me personally, it makes me so deep in my heart feel that joy when interacting with people. I know that this past weekend, I think I got more out of just conversating with individuals, talking to them, and pretty much asking them, discussing with them what's their take on and what's their feeling about why they're pretty much monster lovers, why they're G fans, why they're kaiju fans. And to me, I got such a bond with these individuals that's what made me really soak in, just like a sponge, soak it in, all these individuals who made me realize that, they're the reason. They're the reason why G-Fest is such an important thing in my life. Because for the longest time, I always felt alone when it came to being of being around with individuals who didn't have this kind of love, they didn't have this kind of feeling toward this. And I personally didn't think there was a place for me there. I thought it just didn't make no sense for me to be there. I thought, I don't belong with anything. But as it turns out, when I'm talking to individuals, especially this past weekend, as I say, I really felt a connection with them, and it just made me, it just let me know that I don't have to be this timid rabbit, which I wasn't, because this past weekend I didn't feel like no timid rabbit. I felt like really open, I really felt, immersed in being around the people I was with. Excuse me, like I say, excuse me crying, but I said feelings were coming. Anyway, I just felt so much joy, so much connection, and that's my thing, connecting with people. Not for what they buy, not for what they sell, not for any of that, but for who they are when it comes to this kind of genre. And someone mentioned, that I think they said that Takarada said this, it was a woman who said this. And she mentioned that, it was someone told me that they were at dinner, and I guess they said, they made a prayer, and they pretty much said that, if I'm getting this correct, hopefully if I'm mistaken, someone can tell me for sure. They said that, thank you God for allowing a monster, a man in a rubber suit, to come bring us together and pretty much take all the things that this world has built up against one another, race-wise, gender-wise, all that, and bring us together as a whole. Because that's exactly what this one little creature, if you want to say little, he's far from little, he's very big, and he brings us together, and it lets me know that they come together without any kind of racism, without any kind of prejudice, without any kind of anything to divide them, no political thing, nothing that the world has already built up against this wall and causes us to not interact with one another. But this kind of thing brings us together, and we join together. And as I say this, not as friends. I know we're friends, but I think it's more family. It's more family based. And something that's family based to me means a lot, because it lets me know that nothing has to be, just that. This has to be friends. It has to be a family thing. It's something that really ties us together, Like I say, I have more sisters, more brothers, more aunts, more fathers, more mothers, more adopted children, as I like to say, more baby sisters, more baby brothers, more big brothers, more big sisters, more uncles. At this kind of convention than I would ever have in any family reunion that I would have, because the simple fact is, we don't let the world's thinking blind us from what we truly love. And this is the thing I think I need to say as far as what G Fest has brought to me and what this past weekend G Fest was. It is a commentary on knowing that anything is possible in terms of coming together and making peace with things when it comes to a man in a suit. And knowing that there's a man in a suit or any rendition like a motion capture suit, that we're able to be these individuals and have this love, core love for something that seemed like it should have died a long time ago, but never really did. It is something that keeps on churning, keeps on burning, keeps on growing. And knowing that it does not mean that it's going away anytime soon. It's going to continue to be what it is. And I think that's the reason why now it is such a heartfelt thing for me to say that G-Fest it's more of a family gathering, more than friends coming together. It's more of a reunion of family, if anything, when it comes to talking to, being with, and knowing that warmth is there. And it is such an impactful thing for me because I'll continue to come as far as nothing stopping me is coming to get grips with that, knowing that if time progresses and say, well, it's your time and you can't go anymore, that's when I'll do it. But until then, I'm going to continue to go to this family reunion, continue to see my family that grows, and continue to make new, interesting individuals that I meet every time. Because one thing I learned is that all of us have a story to tell when it involves kaiju or any sort of thing, and that's to me is the level of what I find so appealing with G-Fest. It's that we come together, we don't fall apart. And just to put something out there, you do have, unfortunately, because we still live in the world, you still have a few that might kind of, rock the boat with that. But that's just a few. That doesn't mean that all of them are like that. Not all people are like that. And to me, knowing that the few will not outweigh the many, always a good thing. So, but as I say, G-Fest 2019. Such what time is it? Okay. Such an incredible time. Such an incredible moment with individuals, having dinner with certain ones, having lunch with certain ones, conversations with certain ones, and just knowing that, and knowing just that